Hey, what's up guys, Darkbreaker here, and in today's video we are gonna react to the patch 3.1 leaks, or aka the official notes from the Chinese server. So the Chinese website leaked, or they already posted the official patch notes for the Chinese servers, so we're gonna react to them. And I was told by Chose that usually the changes or the patch notes from the Chinese server are the same as the global servers. So let's hop right into it. I've seen some leaks already regarding some champion balances, but I didn't read those patch notes yet. So let's see. First champion adjustment is gonna be Yasuo. Yasuo's first ability is getting a buff. They increased the tornado speed from 10 to 11.5, and they're also gonna increase the distance of the first ability by 1, which is actually pretty decent. So I think they decided to buff Yasuo because of the Solaris Charge Blade nerf. But to be fair, yes, with the Solaris Charge Blade, Yasuo pretty much reached 100% crit rate very easily. But I think overall in this patch, this is going to be a buff for Yasuo, a pretty big buff actually. I think in the right hands, Yasuo was already one of the strongest mid laners, especially if you're a very skilled Yasuo player and you know the mechanics in and out, you know the matchups. So this is going to be a huge buff. And remember, his passive, you can build Solar's Charge Blade into Infinity Edge, like third item Infinity Edge, and you will still hit 100% crit rate. So the passive doesn't really matter too much. And the passive of Solar's Charge Blade is gonna get buffed. So overall, when you have 3 items, this is gonna be a huge buff for Yasuo. He might be a little bit weaker, or charge rate might be a little bit weaker in the early game on him, but once you have 2 crit items, this is gonna be a huge buff on him. So I think Yasuo is gonna jump into S+ tier, especially when you are one of the best Yasuo players. Like if you're a one-trick pony Yasuo, I think that's gonna be huge. And now, Jhin adjustment. Basic properties. They nerfed the base HP in the early game from Jhin, and instead, or they buffed the passive of Jhin. Percentage of missing health physical damage from 50% to 50% plus 1% per level, up to 25% at level 11. So this is gonna increase the damage output he's gonna do in the late game, and I think this is a pretty good adjustment considering that Jhin, I think from the numbers that Riot always say, Jhin has a really good win rate, and he is very good in the early and mid game. The only issue was always that he falls behind in the mid-late game, or like super late game, where the other ADCs are gonna outshine him. But with this buff, I think Jhin is gonna be much better, especially in the late game. So interesting, gonna see. Next one, this is Zed. Robbery Zed. Zed got nerfed. The third ability got nerfed. Nice. I wanted to see that one as well. Follow-up damage from multiple hits from 70, 100, 130, 160 plus 70 bonus attack damage to... Wow! That's a 40% nerf or not? Yeah, it's a 40% damage nerf. Yeah, it's a 40% damage nerf on the third ability. Because it's times 60% now. So 40% damage nerf on the third ability. That's a huge nerf on Zed. Zed actually fell off in competitive, not necessarily in solo queue, but he really fell off in competitive. Because of Gary mid lane and other bruiser mid lanes. But now with this is gonna be huge nerf on his damage. So in teamfights, it's gonna be much weaker now. I think he might fall off completely from no longer S+ tier for sure. I think a very skilled Zed can still be S tier. And if maybe you use Hullbreaker now on him as a split pusher, I don't know. Next one is gonna be Grace. Grace is getting a buff on the first ability. They are buffing the damage on the first ability towards minions. So 150% damage to monsters. I mean to monsters, sorry. So a buff for Jungle Graves, so his jungle is quicker. That's pretty good. I like that. Next one, Riven. Third ability is getting a buff. The shield duration adjusted from 1.5 to 2 seconds. I feel like Riven has been struggling a little bit. I think in the jungle she was still very good, but in the lane she definitely struggles against a lot of matchups, and she fell off both in solo queue and as well in competitive. Next one, the Master Yi. Yeah, I've seen this adjustment. Now they adjust Master Yi's first ability similar to LoL PC. He becomes unselectable and deals physical damage up to 4 enemies. If there are no other targets, it will deal 25 damage to the previous targets. So, if you use the Alpha Strike onto just one person, you will do a lot more damage than before. So I think this is gonna be huge buff for Master Yi. Yes, Charge Blade got nerfed. This is gonna hurt him, but overall, I think Master Yi is gonna be much stronger in a 1 versus 1. If you are alone against Master Yi and no minions are nearby, the Alpha Strike is gonna do so much damage onto you. So this is actually a huge buff for Master Yi if he wants to split push. Maybe Hullbreaker, Master Yi, 1 versus 1, super strong. Gonna be interesting. Playing him more like a side lane split pusher, maybe. Next one is gonna be Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank's second ability, movement speed is increased by 50, 55, 60, 65, and decays continuously for 2.5 seconds. This skill can be cast again to gain additional movement speed, 140, 150, 160, 170 movement speed, which decays continuously for 1.5 seconds. When the bonus ends, if the skill is not cast again, the movement speed is reduced by 33% for 1.5 seconds. If the skill is released again, when the bonus ends, the movement speed will be reduced by 99% for 2 seconds. Wait, let me check what his second ability exactly does right now and how the buff is actually gonna affect him. I think I've read that it's gonna be a buff for Blitzcrank players that are really proficient at hooking. Wait, let me read the Blitzcrank ability really quick, because I'm curious as well now. Blitzcrank's second ability right here. Gains 75 decaying movement speed and 30% attack speed for 4 seconds. When overdrive ends, Blitzcrank is slowed by 30% for 1 second. Also, he's getting a recast to get way more movement speed. Oh, that's the difference. If you activate the bonus movement speed, you will get rooted basically. Or you lose 99%. So this part here and this part here is what you had before, and this part here and this part here is new. So you have recast to get a lot of movement speed, and that's gonna decay. So the cheese factor of Blitzcrank to hook someone is better, since you get so much mobility to maybe gap close and then hook someone. But if you hook someone, you will lose 99% movement speed. So better make sure that you hit your hook. Because if you miss your hook and you don't get the value, you're getting slowed down and you're overextended because you use so much movement speed. So that's the downside. Yuumi. First ability and ultimate skill can only be released after skill 2 is possessed. Oh, wait, what? That's huge. So Yuumi is out. So basically, you can't use the first ability and the ultimate while being attached to someone. You need to be not attached, and then you can use them. That's a huge nerf, actually. Because beforehand, you are on top of someone engages, and then you just press the ultimate for free. So that's a huge nerf, actually. Wow. Now, next one, robbery. Oh wait, that's Z or not? When multiple 3 skills, Shadow, Profound Truth, Ghost Slash, hit a target at the same time, they will only deal full damage once, and the rest will only deal 60% damage. And the other adjustment here was... Oh, it's the follow-up from multiple hits. I'm choking. So the first hit is gonna do same amount of damage, but all the other hits from the third ability, if you are stacking a lot of shadows, all the other shadows are only gonna do 60% of the amount of damage instead of 100%. So first shadow, or the first one you are doing, is 100%, and all the other shadows are doing 60%. It's still a huge nerf. Yeah, it's still a huge nerf. Now, the thing I said still remains. It's still a huge nerf. So, I mean, you have 100% and then just 60 and 60. Okay, during the ultimate skill from set, the set sets other skill buttons become clickable, and they will be released in order of clicks after the... So you can input trigger. While using ultimate, you can already input trigger what you want to do. So third ability and second ability, you could input trigger it. So by the time you're landing, you're immediately using the third ability and the second ability, for example. This is Solaris Charge Blade item builds right now. So when it comes to item builds, I also have the translation straight up from Chaos. So I think that's gonna be much better. Definitely check out Charles as well. He is making a lot of great leaks, or he's leaking a lot of stuff for you guys. Let's go with the dev dance first, because I rather read the his translation. Okay, let's read this one out first. Remove the effect of gain 25% critical strike chance when charged with Holy Light. That's every charge. They remove the extra crit rate you get whenever you use an ability, and instead remove the effect of additional damage increase based on the target's missing health up to a maximum of 150%. Added extra damage can crit effect. Normal attack critical strike trigger adjusted to normal attack hit trigger. No critical strike required. So your normal auto attacks are gonna do additional damage. The extra damage calculation is adjusted from 22 plus the current level of the hero times 2 to 30 plus the current level of the hero times 3. Oh, I'm looking at Death Dance. Wait a second. No, Charles, I misclicked. No, I wanna go back here. Ah, shit. Overall, I think that's a big nerf, especially for ADCs, for crit champions. Wait, let me find Solaris Charge Blades, because I feel like he put it down easier to understand about the damage. Using an ability gathers radiance, maximum to 3 charges up to 10 seconds. Basic auto attacks will deduct a charge of radiance to deal additional magical damage on it. The bonus magical damage can deal critical strike. Each unique ability may only store a charge once every 2 seconds. So instead of getting charges for crit rate, you're getting charges for additional magical damage. That can also crit. And now Death Dance. Let's open up the Death Dance as well. So Death Dance now is getting built by Chainmail and Caulfield Hammer, and 35 attack damage, 15 ability haste, and 40 armor. And before you got 300 HP, 35 attack damage, and 15 ability haste. So they switched out the HP for armor. And the passive. Okay, let's read the passive. Ignore Pain. Stores 35% melee, 50% ranged or physical damage received after calculating resistance and other reductions, and converts it into true damage sustained within 3 seconds. Dealing 3 times the stored damage per second, 1 part. Contempt. Killing a hero removes remaining stored damage that ignores pain and restores you for 50% of your maximum health over 2 seconds. So, let's see how Charles translated it. If you take down an enemy, can remove ignores pain, remaining stored damage, and heals you for 50% of maximum health over 2 seconds. And ignore pain is stores 35% of the physical damage, and for range damage 50%, and the stored damage is continuously deducted as true damage. And beforehand you had 30% of damage taken is installed as a bleed effect over 3 seconds. But the advantage that you have is they remove the lifesteal, but if you kill a champion while you have a lot of, what's the name of this? Ignore pain, then you can remove it completely and you get healed by 50% of your max HP. This is actually crazy. So 30% or 35% actually, 5% buff for range damage, it's 50% damage nerf. But 35% of melee damage taken is getting stored and dealt as true damage over time. So, but if you kill someone, it's completely removed and you get healed by 50% of the max of your maximum HP. Not current HP, maximum HP over 2 seconds. So in teamfights, in combination with Triumph, you will get so much healing actually whenever someone dies. And it's just any hero, not the hero that's doing the most damage, any hero. If any hero dies in the teamfight, it removes all the damage taken. This is huge. Death Dance is gonna be broken item as maybe even on I mean on Fiora, Camille, Set, Darius. Oh, Darius! Darius with Triumph and Death Dance. Oh my god. Attack damage, armor, ability haste. Okay. I think Juggernauts, for Juggernauts this is a huge buff. Even on Garen this is amazing. 50% of 35% of your damage taken is stored, and if you kill someone it's removed completely and you get healed on top of that by your maximum HP, not current HP like current missing, maximum HP. So the more HP you have, the more healing you're gonna get. This is crazy. This item is gonna make you so tanky actually, especially in teamfights whenever someone dies. So this is gonna be Winter's Approach. I'm just gonna read out the one from Charles. To be honest, it's just way better translated immediately. Okay, Winter's Approach, 350 HP, 500 mana, and 15 ability haste. As you guys can see, they buffed it by 5. And passive skill 1 increased. Wait, let me compare to the one we have right now. Increased health by 8% of maximum mana and refunds 50% of total mana cost. Whenever an enemy hero is damaged, it will consume 3% of the current mana to gain a shield. The shield can absorb 100 to 200 plus 50% of the current mana damage. I think of your current mana. What do they mean with mana damage? Of the mana spent. That's what I meant. When there are more than one enemy hero around, the shield value is increased by 80%. This effect will only trigger if the current mana is above 20%. 8-second cooldown. Okay, beforehand, immobilizing an enemy champion consumes mana and grants a shield for 3 seconds, absorbing 150 damage plus 50% current plus 5% current mana for every nearby enemy. Only triggers above for 50-second cooldown. 8-second cooldown now. So from 50-second cooldown to 8 seconds. And 100 plus 200 plus 55% of the current mana. The shield value is increased. Yeah, the shield value is increased way more now compared to before. Before it was 5% current for every nearby enemy champion, and now it's straight up increased by 80% when it's just 2 people, for example. And you get more ability haste now. Interesting. But I don't think that many champion go Winter's approach. Oh, Fimbo Winter. It's like maybe a Malphite, maybe a Gragas, maybe a Galio, but not that many champion. Maybe a Blitzcrank as well. Okay, now Hextech Core. What did they do? Passive Inventor. When a skill restricts the movement of multiple people at the same time, the remaining cooldown time of its own active equipment can be superimposed. Well, let me check his translation. Hextech Mega Drive. I think they just fixed it because beforehand it didn't work correctly. Remains the same value and price with patch 3.0. Not sure is bug or they haven't updated the correct item. It's just a bug fix on the item. What was the bug? I think the bug was just that it didn't reduce it correctly. Okay. I mean, I don't really care about this one too much. When a skill restricts the movement of multiple people at the same time. I guess the part is just that multiple people, and then you can just spam your enchantments much more often. Summoner skill adjustment. That's just heal, right? Heal. They nerfed the heal on yourself and buffed the heal on your ally. So, I mean, you run heal anyways on the support. Self movement speed is getting reduced and allied movement speed is getting buffed. I mean, ADCs are not running heal anyways. Cooldown adjusted. I mean, it just is a buff when a support is running heal. The healing is increased and the movement speed is getting increased, but the cooldown got increased by 10 seconds. Overall, making heal a little bit better, but not too much. Sorry. 26 per level. This is actually a lot more. I mean, yeah. 484 compared to 240, wait, 360, I'm trolling. 360 to this, and then the base is buffed as well, and the level per level is also buffed. So actually decent buff on heal. Weakness, I guess that's exhaust. Slow effect adjusted from 20% to 60% decay to 20%. Wait, let me read exhaust exactly. Oops, I'm trolling here. Exhaust targets enemy champion, reducing the movement speed by 20% and the damage dealt by 40%. And now it is immediately 60% and then it decays to 20%. Okay. And the cooldown is getting reduced as well. So actually, if you use this immediately, it's a huge slow effect now. So it's like, isn't it like NASA slow, where it just starts super strong and then decays slowly? Then Ignite, damage adjusted. In the early game, it's stronger, and in the late game, it's weaker. The scaling as well, and the base and the cooldown got increased. So overall, Ignite slightly buffed in the early game, but nerfed for the late game. Mountain Dragon. The thing is about the dragons, they are not live for ranked. Like all the elemental dragons or the dragon changes are for PvP, if I'm not wrong. Like they did say they would just test it first and then slowly implement it in 3.3 maybe. So now you just get a shield that is scaled. Wait. Okay, if you're out of combat, you get a shield 6%, and now at all times you have 5% more shield. Oh, wait, it's just a nerf? Is it just straight up a nerf? So 1%, so 1% nerf. And for the Cloud Dragon, wait, I thought Cloud Dragon is removed. 6% movement speed, doubled after leaving combat, adjusted to 5% movement speed, doubled after leaving combat. It's that's a nerf as well. Oh, because Elemental is not live on ranked yet. It is straight up a general nerf. Lifesteal is also getting nerfed on the Ocean Dragon by 1%. Inferno Dragon is also getting nerfed by 1%. They're just nerfing all dragons. So they want people to play more around Herald, I guess, and less around Dragon. And also the Dragon and Heralds are spawning later, instead of 4 minutes at 5 minutes. Elder Dragon. The gain coefficient is determined according to the cumulative number of dragons, including ancient dragon and small dragons, killed when killing ancient dragons. The corresponding coefficients of the number of killed dragons are as follows. First, oi. So for every dragon you have on Elder, the buff is just getting stronger now. They're changing the turrets. Wait, that's huge. Oh, you get more money. You get more money for turrets now. You get 24 more gold, I think, for each plate, or just whenever you kill a turret. Turret destroyer, I guess, whenever you kill a turret. And yeah, Hullbreaker meter. Split push Hullbreaker meter. They're nerfing dragons. I mean, the Elder, yeah, Elder, if you don't get Dragon, the Elder is gonna be stronger now, but you get more money from turrets. Getting the dragons is weaker. And you get more gold, more money from turrets, baby. Oh, then... Woo! Wait a second. They are nerfing the amount of gold the allies are getting if you take the turret together. But if you take the turret alone, you're getting more gold. So a split pusher with a Hullbreaker can get a lot of money now. A lot of money. I think they're just buffing split pushers in general. Like, the meta is adjusted, so split pushers have more time to split push, they get more money, and the dragons are less valuable. Interesting. Optimize the performance of Yumi's second skill with some special effects and floating characters behind them. During Set's ultimate, the performance of the target part of the special effect offset is optimized. Optimize the special effects of some heroes including Wukong, Jin, Diana Misfortune, Tristana. Edit the performance of Yumi's first skill faction difference. Edit the progress bar performance when Camille's passive cools down. Oh, that's cool. Bug fix. Solve the problem that Garen's first skill would consume the second target skill shield. Solve the problem that the rage loss cannot be stopped when the first ability hits the target with the skill shield in Renekton's Realm of Rage. Ah, okay. So if you hit someone with a first ability and they had a shield, the rage would decay, but now it doesn't decay. Fix the problem that Nasu's third skill would consume the target's skill shield. Fix an issue where Rengar's third skill would reset his basic attack when released in the grass. They didn't say that a Dragon and Herald are gonna spawn at 5 minutes. I just wonder if this adjustment is gonna be... I'm pretty sure it's gonna be live, not for PvP. Elemental Dragons are gonna be for PvP, and the 5-minute adjustment should be for Ranked, if I'm not wrong. But I don't see it here. I mean, it's Chinese patch notes. Maybe the official patch notes will explain it better. But overall, all of those changes usually should be very pretty accurate and similar to the global patch notes. So leave your feedback down below in the comments. Let's see. Let's summarize. Yasuo buffed. That's gonna be huge. Jhin buff. This is a Jhin buff pretty much. Jhin buff. A little bit weaker early game, but stronger late game. This is gonna be a buff. Zed weakened. That's Zed pretty much nerfed. Grace buffed. Riven buffed. Master Yi huge buff. Blitzcrank decent buff. Yumi nerf. Zed nerf. Set. I don't think having this is gonna be a huge adjustment. They added in the settings that if you have an empowered auto attack, you can immediately activate it. Like if you have an empowered auto attack, it will just immediately chain on top and hit the opponent immediately. So that's a setting they are gonna adjust. So I don't think it's gonna be mentioned here, but that was I've seen it in Show's video. Charge Blade, I think there's a nerf overall for a lot of ADCs. Death Dance huge buff. Winter's Approach buffed, it's a little bit better. And Hextech. They didn't mention Hullbreaker and Divine Thunderer here, so that's missing, for example. And they didn't really mention the Elemental Dragons as well. Maybe it's on a different patch notes side, but yeah. I mean, Elemental Dragons you can definitely check out. I think Yikes and Charles made videos about the Elemental Dragons. And it's pretty much explained by Riot in the Death Diary as well. And remember, it's not going to be out in Ranked anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. Just for PvP. But yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like. Write down your feedback down below about what you guys liked about this patch. What do you guys think about this patch, if you guys enjoyed it or not, and what you guys have wished for. And I think this is not going to be everything. I think the patch notes, the global patch notes, will have other stuff as well. Like more... There's no mentioning of skins, no mentioning of events, no mentioning of... I think they wanted to touch a report system, if I'm not wrong, but yeah. That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I see you next time. Bye bye.
Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.